Welcome to the HMG Executive Leadership Spotlight. Here's our host, Hunter Muller.
Hello and welcome to the HMG Spotlight. I'm Hunter Muller, founder and CEO of HMG Strategy. I'm here with Christy Barker. She's the CIO of Olin Corporation, of major Fortune 500 organization. Christy, congratulations on being an HMG Global Leadership Institute CIO of the Year.
Thank you so much, Hunter. I'm so happy to be talking to you today.
Hey, Christy, give us some background on the industry Olin is in, a little bit about the history, where you are today, and what's the vision for the future.
Yeah, okay. So Olin may not be a household name to everybody, but we've got two business divisions. And in both of those divisions, we're leaders in our industry. So the first one is our chemicals division. We have the largest global capacity for chlor-alkali production. We make chlorine, bleach, and many other chlorine derivatives. And we're also the leading global supplier of epoxy resins. And the second division, Hunter, if you are an outdoor sportsman, you probably know our Winchester division, which is the leading producer of small caliber ammunition. So together, the products that we're making in those divisions are helping enable safe drinking water around the world. They're used to produce clean energy, and we're critical to national and international defense. And all of this really is underpinned with the heart of our people at Olin, which is why I've been here for 8 years. Great company. Our number one priority is safety. And we really focus on hiring people who do what is right, to continually challenge ourselves to do better, to be innovative and solve problems. And this is all possible through our teammates and our diversity that we build around the globe.
Christy, at HMG Strategy, we're talking about global visionary leadership. How would you characterize your global visionary leadership style, working with the CEO and the board in the line of business?
Great question. And actually, I think I've heard this from you at some point in our past, but I think the key to leadership is really the ability to influence. Because when you're working with various business leaders, whether it's the C-suite or not, or the board, influence is about the people that you're working with and finding something that you have in common first. Something that you can connect with can make a pretty big difference on both of you understanding, what's driving others and the outcomes that you're trying to get. So, I think the first thing I do is really understand, just like what I said, what is driving others and what outcomes do they want? And then demonstrate your leadership by helping get an idea traction to figure out how to help that leader reach the outcome that they're trying to achieve. And a lot of times this can be technology or data driven, but it doesn't have to be. Sometimes it can be a better process, or it could be about managing the company through some sort of change. And really, both of those go hand in hand with the role of being a CIO.
So, Christy, I heard you say building trusting rapport is the first step in the first order of business, building a contextual relationship. Can you elaborate a little further or give us a little example?
Well, I think, how people behave and how leadership behaves sets the tone and the culture for any organization. So, I'll start by saying that technology is really nothing without people. Having that diverse group of people, letting them do their work without looking over their shoulder or hovering too much, and let them emphasize work that they're good at doing. I've had a great leader recently, and I love repeating something that I heard from this person. It says, make sure that you are lifting people up and you're not pushing them down. And so that goes along with what you said, Hunter, trust and transparency, but recognize the good work and the results that people are doing. Find opportunities where they can grow their skills so that you're helping them make leaps in their career. And in turn, you're building a sustainable team that can grow right along with your company. You know, I would say personally, over the span of my career, you know, I lead the way that I find my performance excelling. And my performance has been at its best when my leaders let go of their ego and they're willing to roll up their sleeves with me. So that's what I try to do. You know, that's, I think, what helps create the culture that we have. You know, you show up, you be present, you connect with people in a very real way. You talk openly and transparently about what's going on. You treat people fairly, and you deliver as promised. What you say you're going to do.
Great stuff. And then you really truly have a high-performing, world-class organization that can really deliver results. When you think of partnerships, external partners, vendors, what are some lessons learned or best practices we can think about that you can share with our audience here today?
Yeah, so I'm going to just be vulnerable here. I mean, I had a project that was going off the rails. It was a big project, major investment that we were making in the company, and we were missing schedules. We were overspending, and the confidence level of the team and even our extended team, other leaders within the organization, it was waning. And, you know, we were operating on some fallacies that we're going to catch back up to our planned schedule. And our partner that we hired to do this is on the hook to get it done. So we're just going to trust that they're going to get us there. But the truth was, there was very little chance of catching up. Instead, the delay was getting longer. You know, you've probably heard of the snowplow effect, where you just keep pushing future work forward to make time for current work, but then, you know, you've ended up with this big, huge snowball at the very end that you just can't unbury yourself. That's where we were. We had disagreements about whose fault was it? Was it our partner's fault? Was it our fault? And it just was damaging goodwill and trust between us. So looking back, the lessons that we learned really turned into a win for both Olin and the partner that we were working with. You know, what's so important is spend time with them and seek to understand what's driving your partner's performance. Again, it goes back to transparent communication. And you can trust what the partner's doing, but it's a very important step is building that trust is to verify. And then raise problems and escalate early when something's going wrong. I think, you know, one of the lessons is don't wait too long. Give your partner a chance early to correct a situation rather than letting a smaller problem grow into a level that impacts the relationship going forward.
Outstanding insights. Thanks for that, Christy. When you think of building a world-class portfolio of technologies and partners, how do you go about unpacking that?
Well, again, I think it starts with the outcomes that we're trying to achieve. So the technology is the means to achieve the outcomes. We don't spend our resources for the sake of technology. We're allocating our resources, people and money, to solve business problems that add true business value. So, you know, partnerships with leadership, not just with the C-suite, is the key ingredient for us to align on the most important outcomes. So leverage your core technologies where you can and invest in new technologies that are needed, all focused on aligning with the business problems we're trying to solve.
Finding those partners, where do you go to find the partners? Obviously, they're calling on you 24/7. How do you filter through? How do you filter through all of those partner motions?
Well, you know, I think you've got to be open to talk to people you hadn't talked to before, and a lot of listening. So every partner has got their sweet spot, where they've got some experience, where they've got expertise for their own group of leaders they've got in their organization, and listen and just try and make that match. Is there a connection between what we're trying to accomplish and what this potential vendor or partner has to offer?
Great stuff. And then when's the magic happen, when you really drive value and really get to a point where there's value add or innovation?
Well, I think some of it's timing. You know, it's got to be a little bit of that chemistry that happens, or that magic that happens on the timing. You know, but for me, it's being very clear around what are the few initiatives or goals that we're trying to achieve as a company, and then listening with any partner on what it is and how they're going to offer something back.
Love it. Hey, Christy, you've had an amazing career, incredible success. Final comments on your success and your team's success and your career success?
I would just say keep it real. You know, I am big on not using big fancy language. You know, keep the acronyms to the side, and really just stay focused. I mean, in the line of work that we do, we can get overwhelmed with the number of opportunities, solutions, and problems that we're facing every day. And we're just can get into a reaction mode. But if you just keep the big picture in mind and figure out how to break the big visions down into parts that are achievable and just explain it to others in real words, that's how you're going to get partnerships. That's how you're going to get people aligned with it, just all pulling on the same goals.
Excellent stuff. Hey, Christy, congratulations on being a 2024 HMG Global Leadership Institute CIO of the Year. Congratulations.
Thank you, Hunter.